Welcome to the second episode of the CN podcast, and today we are going to dive into a marquee clash of the Champions Trophy. No, you're not talking about the final, but India versus Pakistan, and it is going to be a one-sided affair or not. It is something that we will have to wait and watch. But I am your host Vineet Ramakrishnan, and joining me is Akash Biswas.
Thank you, Vineet. Thank you so much. And yes, another year,
Yeah.
another ICC tournament, and once again that much anticipated clash between India and Pakistan.
Yeah, it is much anticipated, and sometimes it feels it's not just cricket, because the kind of emotions you associate with India and Pakistan, it is much beyond that. Even though there has been very one-sided, lopsided contest with between the two teams, but the emotions of it is just too high to ignore. And again, we have discussed this, that the lack of India Pakistan games in the
Exactly.
recent years, it becomes a carnival kind of an atmosphere, even though we know that it might not live up to the cricketing standards that we expect.
Exactly. And I would sum it up like this, the thing that you have the least, you preserve it the most. So that's why we are not habitual of, watching India and Pakistan bilateral series that much. Of course, because of those diplomatic conditions between these two nations. But yes, these ICC tournaments, when they bring up India and Pakistan against each other, the atmosphere is lively. We have seen a couple of years ago in India as well, the last year in the US in that T20I World Cup, and now it's in Dubai. So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
we are bracing ourselves for this competition.
And also ICC events in the recent past, or historically also, India have dominated
Yeah.
Pakistan, be it the T20 World Cups, or be it the ICC ODI tournaments, the World Cup, or the ICC Champions Trophy. But barring the 2017 loss of India to Pakistan, I mean, they still rave about that. And of course, that T20 World Cup 10 wicket loss
10 wicket
also.
loss,
But
yes.
historically, it's been a case where Pakistan have not really showed up in an ICC tournament when it comes to India.
Exactly, and I have some stats here with me. Like, if we speak about the overall ODIs between India and Pakistan, surprisingly and historically, Pakistan are ahead with 73 victories, while India have won only 56. But now, as we speak about the ICC tournaments, yes, who could forget that 2017 Champions Trophy final when
Yeah.
Virat Kohli's team suffered a 180-run loss to Sarfaraz Khan's Pakistan, and cut to 2021 first league match between India and Pakistan, and we lost that game 10 wickets. But since then, a lot has changed. Cricket in Pakistan has changed, so did in India. But now, if we see from this position where India and where Pakistan stands, the difference is massive, massive difference.
Cricket changed for India for the better, but for Pakistan it was kind of worse, and again culminating into that Sri Lankan attack on the Sri Lankan players, and from there
Exactly, in
no cricket being played.
2009.
2009, no cricket being played. Their cricket has deteriorated to that extent where, even though we are talking about India Pakistan as this some kind of famed, acclaimed rivalry,
Exactly.
would it live up to that expectation is the biggest question that probably lingers in our mind now.
And also that, what Pakistan has been through as a nation in the past decade or so, that geopolitical tensions or the turmoil, I would say, has somewhere or the other reflected on Pakistan's cricket, because we have seen how political people have a big say in Pakistan cricket. And I think that has also reflected in the team combination, team formation, the administration, and ultimately in the performance of the players. Because ever since Pakistan were knocked out of that ODI World Cup which held in India, they have went through a lot. Captain changes, change of selectors, change of coaches. So if there are so many ups and downs in a team setup, then obviously to find that balance, that's gonna be a big thing, big challenge for a team like Pakistan. And even if you see now that they are hosting it, but I think India as a participating nation seems to have that home advantage.
Exactly, and hosting itself is a great thing for Pakistan. This is what, since 1996 they are now hosting an
Yes,
ICC
29
tournament.
years, 29
29
long
years,
years,
almost
three
three
decades.
decades there. So the significance of this tournament itself becomes quite huge for something as a team like Pakistan. Again, as you mentioned, it's very kind of an thing where India having refused to travel to Pakistan, as we mentioned, for reasons which is not in players' control. India do have that tactical advantage in terms of the host nation coming
Obviously.
in and playing their games in an outside venue, whereas India would be placed in Dubai. So let's
Exactly.
get into Pakistan first. The challenges, now they'll be facing. Primarily, they've lost to New Zealand by 60-run margin. Coming into this game, as we mentioned, Dubai, not their home venue. India have already played a game here. India, stupendous performance against Bangladesh, dominating when Pakistan do or die. What are the challenges for Pakistan?
Well, I think Pakistan, the Champions Trophy is done for Pakistan, because the way they played against New Zealand, I don't think anything gonna change when they come to Dubai. And having said that, I think the tournament is over for Pakistan, because as you mentioned, India are stationed in Dubai. Other teams have to travel to and fro, because even if India go into the semi-finals, their opponent have to travel from Pakistan to Dubai. With all these baggage, extra load, when they are traveling from home to an other venue far away from home, where India is already has set their base. They have been practicing their facing bowlers of that that talent, I would say. So yes, I don't see a match between these two teams coming to this game.
More you see Pakistan play ODI game, they're still stuck in that early 90s era of how
Yeah.
ODI cricket was being played. Your top player Babar Azam, supposed to be the greatest comedy to come out of Pakistan since the time of maybe Saeed Anwar Awakar or Wasim Akram. You cannot be playing at a strike rate of 70 or 60, and the same is the case with somebody like Imam Ulaq. You're coming in. The main reason why he was out of the team was because his strike rate wasn't the greatest.
Exactly.
Your captain Mohammad Rizwan, he's an accumulator. He's not somebody who strikes at a decent pace. But look around you. Beat India, beat South Africa, beat New Zealand for that matter. Look at how Tom Latham, who we may consider as a traditional ODI player, he represented
Tawhid Hridoy for that matter.
Tawhid Hridoy for that matter, Zakir Ali for that matter. So I think the main issue for them, Pakistan, is that they're still stuck in the 90s when it comes to batting. Their bowling still is a very strong point, but then again, you only have Shaheen Shah Afridi, who was also not in that greatest of form. Haris Rauf is not fully fit. Naseem Shah, again, upcoming potential, but hasn't really shown that what he is completely made of. And then you are playing in Pakistan, subcontinental conditions, and you have just one spinner in your squad, one proper spinner. Look at New Zealand. They played two proper spinners. They had one more spinner. India carrying 5 spinners. It's mind-boggling to think that
2 spinners and 3 all-rounders.
3 all-rounders, but again, 5 spinners there. But it's mind-boggling to think that you are not able to read your own conditions.
I feel they are lost. We know a term called brain fade. Whenever they go out on the field, I think they suffer that, because you see how Babar Azam batted on that day against New Zealand. That's the case. They are lost. They are literally figuring it out in every game, that how to find that balance.
Let's now move into India. All is going well as of now. Their start was brilliant. Their lead up to that start, the series that they played against England, really showed that there were no chinks in their armor. Bangladesh win probably reassured us that yes, there's no chink in their armor. Shubman Gill going all guns blazing, Mohammad Shami coming back. I for one I did not feel the absence of Jasprit Bumrah, to be honest.
Absolutely. And you see, if you recall the 2023 ODI World Cup, we all covered some of the matches from the tournament. When Shami came in, he came in late. Yeah. And when he ended up came in as Hardik Pandya's replacement, and he went, and when India ended the campaign, although on the losing side, Shami was among the top wicket takers for India. So that's kind of a potential that's the caliber he brings to the table. And like Rohit Sharma said in that post-match presentation, that given an ICC tournament, you bring in Shami, he's a different bowler altogether. I mean, the way he started from this England series after a 14-month gap due to injury, starting off very rusty body language and all those things. Now he comes to the Champions Trophy, picks up a 5-wicket haul in the opening game itself. That speaks volume about him. And now when you're one of your prime bowlers, I would say, especially when Jasprit Bumrah is there in your scheme of things. So when one of your prime bowlers is returning you 5 wickets, that means we are ticking all the boxes pretty much.
Yeah, that is true. Ticking all the boxes, at least from the bowling front, even in the batting front. One name that I'd like to point out here is Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
Because of the way that he played against Bangladesh, the kind of approach that he has set himself for the last 2-3 years, maybe after that
Yeah.
horrific loss to England in the semi-finals, where again India were accused of not being aggressive enough. Rohit Sharma has changed tack, and that Bangladesh knock, 41 of just 36 deliveries, that was crucial.
I think Rohit Sharma has put aside his personal milestones. If he gets 100 like he did in Cuttack in the second ODI against England, well enough. Most welcome if he is getting reaching some milestone or getting 100. But if not, then at least he's ensuring a good start, a fiery start, which could build up on a great condition. I mean, that could put the team in a great condition, so that even if the middle order collapses, then there is very least left to be done for the lower order.
Absolutely, and that pretty much sets the base for Team
Yeah.
India's dominance, so to speak, at least in the white ball format. So yeah, that's about it. That's from us in terms of what to look forward to for the India versus Pakistan marquee clash at Champions Trophy, February 23rd in Dubai.